Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so I noticed that some of you are kind of hit or miss when it comes to solving these inequalities using multiplication or division. So I wanted to do a few more examples with you to hopefully clear up some of the confusion and see where you're going wrong. All right, so I have four problems for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Share my screen. All right, so let's go ahead and start up here. So we have 2r is less than or equal to negative 18. Just like any other inequality, we need to get the variable r by itself by doing the opposite. Since this is a multiplication problem, my opposite would be division. So I'm going to be dividing both sides, okay? Because I want r by itself, I need to get rid of the 2. So I'm going to be dividing by 2 on both sides of this inequality. 2 divided by 2 leaves me with 1, or just my r. I'm going to leave the inequality symbol alone just for a second. And then over here, negative 18 divided by 2. I know that 18 divided by 2 is 9, but is it supposed to be negative or is it supposed to be positive? Remember our helpful friend sleepy triangle? So if I have a negative and I have a positive, then my answer will be negative because that's the symbol that's still left out. So I'm going to put my negative sign here. Now, to go back to my inequality symbol, I need to see, do I leave it alone or am I supposed to flip it? Remember that special rule. If we multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, then we need to flip the inequality to keep it true. Well, let's take a look. What did we do to both sides? We divided both sides by a 2, a positive 2. So because it was positive, I don't need to do anything to the inequality. So I'm just going to bring it down. So r is less than or equal to negative 9. Okay. And if I were to graph this, don't forget about graphing. Here's my negative 9, negative 8, negative 10. All right. Because my inequality has the solid bar underneath it, that means I'm going to have a closed circle. And then if I do my little helper by drawing a line down the middle, here goes my arrow. So that means my arrow needs to be going this way. Okay. Let's look at the next one. B divided by negative 5 is greater than or equal to negative 8. Okay. This is the division. This is a division problem. And I want to get the variable B by itself. So I must do the opposite. The opposite of division is multiplication. Okay. I want B by itself, so I need to get rid of this negative 5. So that's what I'm going to be multiplying both sides by, a negative 5, okay? Negative 5 and a negative 5 cancel out and leave me with a positive 1, or just my B. I'm not going to bring down my symbol yet. Over here, if I ignore the signs, 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, I have a negative times a negative. A negative times a negative changes to a positive. So my answer is going to be positive. Now, because there is a change in my sign, that means I need to flip my inequality. So that way it keeps it the same, because it's facing this way because it was negative. But because my problem has now changed to a positive, I need to flip the sign so that way it's still a true statement. Okay, this only happens if you multiply or divide by a negative number. So let's take a look. Here's a negative 5. I multiplied both sides by a negative 5. So that's why I had to flip my sign. Okay, I'm going to graph it. It's positive 40. So I'm going to put 41 over here, 39 over here. My inequality sign has a solid bar underneath it. So that means I'm going to have a circle, a solid circle. And then if I put the little line down the middle, it makes my arrow. And that's which way my arrow needs to go on here. Okay. All right, 2 more. Hopefully this is making a little bit more sense. Let's look at this one. Y divided by 2 is less than 7. This is a division problem. I need to do the opposite to solve it. Opposite of division, multiplication. So I'm multiplying both sides, okay? I want the variable y by itself, so I need to get rid of the 2. So that's what I'm going to be multiplying both sides by, okay? 2 times this will cancel and leave me with my y. I'm going to leave the symbol alone for right now. Over here, 7 times 2, 14. Now, if I go back and look what I did to both sides, I multiplied both sides by a positive 2. Since it was a positive number, I don't do anything to the sign. I just bring it down. Okay, so y is less than 14. Let's go ahead and graph it. 14, 15, 13. My inequality symbol does not have a bar underneath it, so it's going to have an open circle. Okay, I'm going to put the line down the middle to see which way my arrow needs to go. Now it's graphed. All right, last one. Negative 7a is greater than 49. This is a multiplication problem. I want the variable a by itself, so I must do the opposite to solve for this. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to be dividing both sides. Because I want a by itself, I need to get rid of the negative 7. So that's what I'm going to divide both sides by, a negative 7. Negative 7 and negative 7 cancel and leave me with a. I'm going to leave this alone for right now. We have 49 divided by a negative 7. Let's ignore the sign for right now. 49 divided by 7 is 7. Okay, let's get our sleepy triangle up here. Okay, one of my numbers is positive. One of my numbers is negative. So my answer is going to stay negative. So there's my negative. Now let's go back and see about this sign. What did I do to both sides of this inequality? I divided both sides by a negative number. A negative divided by a negative changes to a positive. So because my sign changes, that must mean I need to flip here to keep it the same. So now my problem reads a is less than negative 7. Okay, and then of course we're going to graph it. Negative 7, negative 6, negative 8. My inequality symbol does not have the bar underneath it, so that means I have an open circle. And then if I draw my line down the middle here goes my arrow, and then my arrow's facing the way it needs to face. All right, guys. Hopefully that has cleared up a little bit for you. This is how you solve using the multiplying and the dividing of inequalities. And I showed you the graphing. This is your modeling, okay? So if I gave you this graph, you should be able to match it with its answer, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a review on what you need to do. So go ahead and head into your folder, see that modeling assignment that I have for you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.